Welcome to Football Classic. My name is Friday Enojo Adiku. On today's edition of the program, we're going to take a look at Gerd Müller of Germany. And we have Nike Kina with me in the studio to talk about this great player. Nike, good having you on the show.
Pleasure is always my friend.
We're going to take a look at Gerd Müller and Germany. Then West Germany.
Yeah.
But now West is out of it. So
yes.
It's known as Germany now.
Yeah.
Great player. Very lovely striker. Record unequal for almost 30 years.
Yeah. An interesting goal scorer. If you consider the history of Gerd Müller and what he's been able to contribute to the game of football in Germany, and you get to see that this was one dynamic player whose pace was almost unimaginable, because at the time he shone, and you consider what he was able to do with this round leather game. You see that his one that had a record that was, until late, long yes. After that, his goal scoring ability was just too much. You just couldn't believe how he was able to operate, especially with his stature. He was a short person.
Yes.
But
he has a bulky frame.
They used to call him short fat Müller. So he you would think that he would be limited because of but his gravity, that helped him. Center of gravity, because it was close to the ground, and then he could do a lot
From 1974, when he stopped playing international football.
Yeah.
The record stood till 2006, when great Ronaldo de Lima of Brazil broke the record. And then his own countryman, Miroslav Klose, equaled the record. 14 goals all through the World Cup
at
South Africa 2010.
Yes, that's right.
Do you think there is any player that can, come and set that kind of record again for 30 years plus, 74 to 2006?
Like the very optimistic person that I am, I don't think that no one can't be equaled. If anything, you could be bettered. It just takes you giving the game the right attention, and then giving the player the right qualitative training. Talent, of course, has a role to play. In fact, a very big role. There are so many talented players, but when you're trained well, you get to see that you saw so well. With the like of Gerd Müller, yes, it may not be exactly the same. We may have people better.
68 goals in 62 appearances.
What does that say? You can't even imagine the ratio. It just goes to show that yes, this player was one of a kind. He could give a lot. He could score so well. And like we said earlier, his stature helped him. Sometimes, what could we consider the defects, because you would assume that no, you're a short person, could be channeled positively. I think he was able to use his stature to his advantage, and his talents helped him greatly.
West Germany, as they were known then, started playing football 1908.
Yeah.
And they are among the top rated country all over the world.
Yeah, three times
champion.
Yes. So
they're producing the likes of Gerd Müller, Rudi Völler, and Miroslav Klose.
Yeah.
Great strikers. What do you think they are doing right that other countries are not doing?
First, I would say is the love for the game. If you love a game, you want to do it so well. But with Germany, if you consider the history of football in Germany, like you said, there was the West Germany, which was like the center and the focal point. But there was the Saarland as well as the Eastern Germany, and all this come together to contribute to the game of football. For every side, it's always like, yes, we want to prove a point. And over the years, it's been known that yes, the German machines, as they are called, always they have their style of play. It's kind of different from what is applicable in most parts of the world, but because of their nature, this pushes them to bring out the best in them. They always want to make a point, even though they don't get to win titles some of the times. European championships 3 times too. So it shows that this particular people, even though they've over the years evolved, come together. So now the Southern and the Eastern Germanys, all their goals and everything still equals. They brought them back to blend. They still bring their experiences together. They're the same people. It's just that politically they had their challenges, and then coming together again will mean that people who love the game coming together will get better. So I think from my own point of view, the Germans love football. They always want to get the best, do the best for the game, and over the years they've proven that.
The last time they won the World Cup was 1990 on home soil.
Yeah.
1990 to date, it's about 22 years.
Yeah.
Is it going to take them another 30 years to, win the World Cup again? They've been to 4 different finals. Yeah. Even in South Africa 2010, they performed brilliantly, but all of a sudden they were knocked out. Is there anything they are doing wrong now, or something they are doing differently from 1970s to 80s?
As you see, the game keeps evolving. It keeps getting better. It's football, like we say as often as we can, is not mathematics. That you were a master of the game before does not mean that you're a master of the game today. As much as you want to get the best of the game, some other people are contributing, they're practicing, they're working so hard to beat you. So it may not take for as long as that, because when you do something well, all you need is put in more effort and then you get better. For people that are coming behind them, they'll try three times, 4 more times the effort, and then they want to get better than them. It's a tough game out there. That they don't make it to the final, that they don't get to win the trophy, does not mean that they are not champions of the game. There are no pushovers when it comes to the game of football. It may not take as long as that, but I believe working harder and then putting more effort, they will definitely pull up the trophy one of those days.
Before we used to know West Germans, the German machine, as they were known, up and down, they call the German machine. Yeah. They have this knack for having very tall and physically fitted players, 6 foot plus. But now you find people who are below 6 playing for the national team. Is that an factor affecting them?
You can't
like their captain.
Yeah,
Philipp Lahm is 5'3".
You can't, like we talked about Gerd Müller. He wasn't a tall person,
but he was the lone striker that you see among all the giants.
Yes, but he was able to do justice to the game. It doesn't have to do. I personally do not think it has to do with height. Okay. It's what you give that you get. The game is a lot more tougher than it was way back. Sometimes when you see some of the goals that were allowed goals in the years past, they're not goals anymore to us now, because a lot of things were wrong then that have been corrected. And FIFA keeps working hard, coming up with styles that will make, with tactics that will make the game different. So I may differ with the fact that yes, it has to do with height. I don't think so. It may just be that some things they're not getting right, and I believe with time they'll get right. Like you see that as you're putting more effort, some other countries are putting it. There are no pushovers. So whether they make it now, they still know, or they don't.
Because if you look at 1954, they won their first major trophy in World Cup.
And then it took them another 20 years, 74 before they made that.
74 to 90.
Yeah.
So maybe this time around they'll be lucky in Brazil.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
And I also want to look at the goal ratio scored by them, Gerd Müller.
Yeah.
68 goals in 62
matches. Yes.
Since the game is revolving now, more technical, very difficult.
Yeah.
How do you think there's any player that's going to move up to that par?
It may not be that they get to that level, because like we say, yes, it's more tactical now. It's not like some passes were allowed way back, but now they aren't anymore. So it may not. But I hate never. I don't like to say never, because you never can tell the crop of players that will come up with time. It will take a while, but we may get people that will equal, if not, in some cases they may even better the records of Gerd Müller. It will come difficult. It's not going to come easy, but with trainings and talent, there definitely we will get there, and we'll see.
Let's allow the viewers to see the exploit of Gerd Müller. All the 3 World Cup players he has participated in, though he wasn't there at Italian 90.
No, he wasn't.
But he was able to pick trophy 54 and 74. Great player.
Yeah.
Gerd Müller of Germany for you. Watch. We'll be right back.
World Cup history. Revered for his prowess in front of goal, he was one of the most prolific strikers of his generation. Born on the 3rd of November in 1945 in Nordlingen in Germany, Muller's deadly finishing earned him the nickname Der Bomber. The highlight of the stocky striker's FIFA World Cup career came in 1974 when he scored the winning goal in the final against Holland. Gerd Müller made his FIFA World Cup debut at the 1970 finals in Mexico. He entered the tournament as one of the most feared strikers in world football, and by the end of it confirmed his status, scoring a total of 10 goals in 6 games. Muller's incredible goal fest began in West Germany's opening match against Morocco. His superb control and neat layoff set up Uwe Seeler for the equaliser, and in the 78th minute, Müller grabbed the winner with a trademark poacher's goal. Against Bulgaria, West Germany fell behind for the second successive match, but it didn't matter. Müller turned the game on its head with an opportunistic hat-trick. A close-range finish in the 27th minute was followed by a penalty in the 52nd. He turned provider for West Germany's 4th goal with a perfectly weighted cross that was finished off by Seeler. Excellent in the air for someone so short, Der Bomber completed his hat-trick with a fine-headed goal. 5-2 was the final score. In West Germany's final group match against Peru, Müller started where he'd left off against Bulgaria with yet another hat-trick. Excellent at finding space in the penalty area, he scored 3 goals in the space of 19 first-half minutes. His partnership with Uwe Seeler was starting to blossom, and it was he who set up Müller's 3rd goal. Seeler used his pace to good effect before delivering a right-wing cross to Müller, who cleverly looped his header over Peruvian goalkeeper Luis Rubinos. In an epic quarter-final match against England, Müller was the hero yet again. He secured an incredible comeback with a typically deadly finish. West Germany avenged their defeat in the 1966 final with a 3-2 victory in extra time. At the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, Müller was involved in a FIFA World Cup match that lives long in the memory. The semi-final against Italy was level with 1 goal each after 90 minutes. Forcing the game into extra time, Müller gave West Germany the lead in the 94th minute when he bundled the ball over the line from close range. In a match that swung one way and then the other, Tarcisio Burnic and Luigi Riva scored within 10 minutes to restore Italy's lead. Müller typified the Germans' never-say-die attitude, though, drawing the game level at 3-3 in the second period of extra time with a brave header from barely a yard out. Despite a fantastic tournament, Müller's efforts were in vain, as Gianni Rivera's 111th minute goal secured a memorable 4-3 win for the Italians, who celebrated in style. Müller failed to score in the third-place playoff against Uruguay, but yet again his contribution was telling, laying on the only goal of the match for Wolfgang Overath. Although there was no FIFA World Cup winners' medal, Müller did win the Golden Boot, a remarkable achievement. The most notable chapter of Müller's distinguished career came at the 1974 finals when West Germany hosted and won the FIFA World Cup. He secured West Germany's passage to the final with the only goal of the match against Poland. This low cross shot past Jan Tomaszewski gave the hosts a hard-fought 1-0 victory in the semi-final. At At the packed Olympic Stadium in Munich, Müller scored the most important goal of his career. In the 42nd minute, he collected Rainer Bonhoff's pass, swivelled, turned and struck the ball low past the stationary Dutch goalkeeper Jan Youngblood. Müller celebrated in exuberant fashion with his trademark hop, skip and jump. In fact, he thought he'd scored another goal in the second half, but his close-range effort was ruled out for offside. It made no difference to the outcome, as West Germany held on for a famous 2-1 victory, and Müller basked in the glory of his success. Admired the world over for his incomparable talent in front of goal, Gerd Müller is one of the best strikers to grace the world stage. 68 goals in 62 international appearances is a record that speaks for itself, and he remains one of the top FIFA World Cup goal scorers of all time.
Yeah, welcome back. Gerd Müller of Germany there, great striker, very explosive, strike like Gerd Müller.
Yeah, strike like Gerd Müller. Looking at Gerd Müller, from the video you can tell that yes, this was a man who dazzled in the 70s, who dazzled, you know, way back, and then you see that yes, he wanted a goal, he went for it, and then he will get it. He was one player that most goalkeepers dreaded. You know, even considering what he was able to do with his life after football, you see that this man, on and off the pitch, is a gentleman.
Yes.
He's one who lived the game, still lives the game. If you consider that, yes, you know, at a point in time as a player, when you see the attention that you get from being a star player, and then after the game, you don't get so much attention anymore. He affected him. He went into alcoholics, and because of the support of these people, the love they have for him, and they see that yes, this particular man loved the game. He went for recovery, he went for rehabilitation, and then recovered. Was given the opportunity to coach the Bayern Munich, and over the years has been able to do well in the management of in football management.
You know, he's from Munich.
Munich himself, so he's home. So
he actually won the, you know, they actually won the 1990 World Cup in his home, you know, hometown. And there's nothing that will give you joy, a player, you know, to be in your own backyard and see your players winning the World Cup.
I agree with you.
Very big stage. Yeah. So Gerd Müller is one star out of many from the West Germany then, now known as Germany. I believe other countries should go and understudy Germany to see what they are doing right. Yeah. You know, putting every World Cup, Germany must go beyond the quarterfinal. Yeah. Every World Cup. They're
a force to reckon with, and looking back, still now, they are big in the game.
They were even tipped to be the, you know, title contender for South Africa 2010.
Yes, I mean, from the performance too.
Scoring beautiful goals and lovely, you know, passes, young players, and you know, good coach. Yeah. But all of a sudden, their journey was cut short.
The god of football, god of soccer, probably didn't smile there.
Do you agree with me that their neighbors, they are doing well, the Dutch?
Yeah, the Orange Boys.
The Orange Boys around them, the country around Germany, they are doing well. You understand? Is it that they are understanding Germany to see how, like West Africa here?
Yeah.
Cameroon, Ghana become torn in the flesh of Nigeria. The Super Eagles, both the Falcons also. Falcons used to score 10, 15 goals, but now they find it difficult to even score one goal against the West African countries.
It's always like that when you're like supposedly the originator of something. If you want to copy, you always copy. You do it better than the original. I guess that accounts for it, because it's easier to go up, but to stay up in the game, it's a tough one, and that I think is responsible for most of those big, supposedly big countries in football. You may find it very hard to sustain that popularity, to sustain that victory, because if you don't put in more, better than you put in when you were actually starting out, you may not be able to keep staying up. But so I think that's responsible for.
We hope Germany should keep producing top strikers like Gerd Müller, because we love seeing beautiful goals. We love seeing goals. We love seeing the net shaking over and over and over. We don't like seeing boring games where goals had to come by except on penalties. Those are lucky games. We want to see strikers deliver like the way Nigeria did over the we shouldn't give them that place. We should let us not go there.
No, looking at the bright side though, I think I agree. And then dash it.